Happy New Year, everyone. Now, 2019 had animated movies. Now, on my opinion, the year started great in February. Then it got worse in spring. Then it was great in summer and fall. Now, I would say this is the third best year animation behind this and this. Now, let's not look back to those years. Let's look back and see which movies is the worst and take a guess which movie won that award. This movie is the worst thing I have seen in my entire lifetime. The voice actors don't sound like different people, which is their job. They're supposed to sound like different people. The animation is not the best. The characters are not likable whatsoever. And the music pretty much sounds the same. So this is the worst animated movie I have seen. Next.
Bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Now, of course, I like the original. Now, this is just, I can't put into words what I think about. I'll try. Vera is worthless and doesn't do much. Second half is a sports movie, and Fong sounds like an American trying to do a Chinese accent. But the best thing in this movie is Norm and Quinn. But still, why does this movie look like this? The first movie looks alright, but this one makes the characters look like plastic. Let's just hope the next movie isn't this bad, and we will find out soon. Wonder Park may be interesting in concept, but there is a massive stuff that's happening. There is the I don't want to do this because this happened in the beginning. Then there's the darkness is growing up or depression. Now the characters are kind of forgettable, but they have their own personalities. But still, why would I prefer this over Norm 2? At least Nick has better animation than this. And the animation's okay, I guess. But that's the only good thing, but still, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. Now, this movie has nothing interesting. The animation looks like Illumination, but worse, especially with Wednesday's best friend Parker. The Addams family don't act like themselves that much. They don't try. Some of the subplots are weak, but the two good things in this movie that surprise all the others is Wednesday's subplot of trying to fit in and trying out new things. And the voice acting is spot on, but the animation is uncomfortable. And if you don't get the ending reference with them turning the house pink, you will scream. But this is the point where we get to the average. So what's first?
I'm gonna kill the dog next door. Ain't gonna bark anymore.
This movie is just more boring. That has nothing that interesting. That is all I have to say. And the cliches in this movie are overdone. Nothing good. And the characters look cute. There is nothing else to say. And I literally mean that. Like I said, the next Norm movie was going to be the best. The animation looks so much better than the other two. The characters are lovable, and the action in this movie is spot on. But I will say that the Norm traveling to China is a bunch of lucky coincidences. And the Quinn subplot is kind of hard to watch because everyone is kind of being a jerk to him. I would say the A word, but kappa. So not a waste of time for me. I actually enjoyed this. So anyway, I hope you like this as well.
Hey you, this is gonna be the best day of your life.
This movie is fine. It was better than the original. I didn't care for some of the tropes that the movie used, but the comedic timing was perfect, and the story was pretty good, and the animation was amazing. And this is made by Sony. You know, Sony, who makes the Hotel Transylvania and Clyde with Chance Meatballs, made the best movie of all time last year. I was kind of surprised as well. This movie is fine in my opinion. The characters, once you get to know them, are very likable. The comedy is on point, especially with that snake joke in this movie. And the backgrounds, the animation is all beautiful. You get a sense of China, like, exploration vibe to it, which you would understand if you were watching the movie. But the movie tries to be serious, but kind of fails at it. And that's all I have to say, but not a bad time. Now, this movie is just so satisfying. The animation is amazing. The characters are lovable, and the ending is understandable. It satisfied 95% of people who watched this. The characters, but there is one problem, and it is the Dragon Raiders. They are so annoying in this movie. But apparently, this movie is so successful that it's on the Oscar nomination for Best Animated Feature. And this movie was released in February. That never happens. Now, this movie is really good. The stop motion is great, the characters are not deep, but are fun and work well off each other. But I wish that the story had more to it, because there wasn't much of the character-oriented conflict, but still a really fun time. It deserved better, and honestly, it's better than Early Man, let's be honest. I know that people are calling this a zombie installment and are yelling the trilogy was perfect, but I will defend Toy Story 4. For this, we found out what happens to other characters from previous movies like Bo Peep. We find out more on how toys come to life and how the message serves well in this movie, but the one thing that I didn't like was Buzz. He would just use his buttons to pretty much tell him what he should do, and it wasn't really much Buzz. It just felt like Toy Story 1 Buzz before he realized he was a toy. It just felt weird. It was not a huge waste, but I'd rather watch Spider-Man Far From Home. I know, Will Smith in animated film, we are all going to die. He had terrible films. Let's be honest with ourselves, Shark Tale was bad without him, and the genie from Aladdin didn't look good already. And it was live action. I had a fun time with this film. AJ Shirley was fun but obnoxious. Walter was fun, and this was just a funny film. Now the award is called Who Actually Made This, because Blue Sky made this. These are the people who made us all those Ice Age sequels. Now, this is arguably the best Disney sequel of all time. The characters are lovable, the comedy is great. Olaf retelling the first Frozen will always be the funniest thing to me. And oh my goodness, the animation is so beautiful. And the twist was set up perfectly. And I'm not surprised if this movie won Best Animated Feature, because we definitely want Lion King to win because it was the highest grossing animated film in June. But still not a complete waste of time, so watch it if you can. You may be wondering why I'm calling it this award, and you will find out soon. But this movie is my favorite movie of 2019. I like the characters, the whole Lego thing still looks gorgeous to me. I do get that the action sequences with the explosions and stuff can still be a little bit grating, but still a really good time. I love Queen or Whatever I Wanna Be, and Tiffany Haddish really does a good job. And the message was great for Lego play. Just because you are too old doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, and that you can play with younger stuff as well. And the twist was kind of guessable, but still a good one. So now to end this, Lego Movie 2 is my favorite movie of 2019. I know I didn't touch Klaus, or Playmobil, so here's what I thought. Playmobil is worse than Norm 2, and Klaus is around Toy Story 4. So what awaits us in 2020? Well, a sequel and 2 original Pixar films. So I will see you for this thing soon.